Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Grand Rising Good People. Grand Rising Good People coming to you live from wherever I'm at right now. Know what I mean? Um, how's everybody's weekend or how's everybody's week beginning? Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend to kind of relax, recharge, get a nice little reset in. That's always key. I think I got probably more sleep yesterday. Think I got about 6.5 to 7 hours, maybe. Yeah, almost. Well, about 6.5, 6.5. That's a solid night's sleep for me. I don't know about y'all. How many hours of sleep do y'all normally get? That's actually a good little question to start it off. How many hours of sleep do y'all normally get? For me, we around somewhere around that 5 hour mark. But like I said, today got 6.5. So I'm feeling good about today's show. We got a lot of stuff to cover. A mixture of stuff that we did not cover on Friday, and a mixture of things that were, I guess, exposed to us over the weekend that we want to highlight as well. But we got a bunch of stuff to cover. We can actually take this part out because we're not covering that aspect. But we got a bunch of stuff to cover. Um, what else are we going to talk about? So we got some issues with Brandon Johnson in Chicago, some follow-ups on Cash Patel, and I don't know if we have anything from RFK Jr., but we got a lot of stuff. We actually got a shout out to Black History Month, actually, National Black History Month. We're going to talk a little bit about that because a lot of people thought that Donald Trump was getting rid of Black History Month. That was you guys let me know if that was going around in your group chat as well. We're going to talk about that. We got an interesting video from Thomas Sowell. I have not seen the video yet. On purpose, I have not seen the video yet. Going to review it for the first time with you guys. But the caption or the title of the video is Malcolm X was right all along, and it's Thomas Sowell, who y'all know I think is one of the most intelligent brothers that we have on the planet. So we're always looking to tap into what he's got going on and to learn. What else do we have? We got some crazy things going on in San Francisco. We got a few different updates as far as, I guess it was the DNC to find out who's going to be the Democratic National Committee chair. That was pretty interesting. Got a couple videos on that, and yeah, we're just gonna go through it. It'll be more like the show from, I believe that was last Wednesday, where we have a bunch of different videos to cover, and we'll go through them a little bit more quickly. But what we're gonna start off with today, always the big question, because y'all know what we start off with in a lot of ways can determine where the entire show is gonna go. Matter of fact, let's get into this. All right, so I didn't want to start it off like this, but maybe I did. I did not want to start it off like this, but maybe I did. So actually, we're gonna play a video. Um, and do I want to play that one? This is a tough one. All right, we're gonna go politics first. Y'all know most of it is just politics anyway. But let's look at this video. We got a nice little icebreaker. We're gonna continue this DEI talk. And we're gonna continue this DEI talk for a lot of different reasons. I think a lot of people are positioning and repositioning DEI to be something that it's not. I think a lot of people who used to complain about, well, DEI didn't make an impact anyway, but I don't want them taking it away. A lot of people are confused about DEI. I think it's such a polarizing issue because it does impact us in a big way. And when I say impact, a lot of that is just emotionally, not logically. It fanaticizes us in a way that a lot of the other topics don't, because it involves race, at least on the surface. Shout out to Uncompetitive in the building. We got you locked in. All right, so let me share this video. For you guys, and I think you'll enjoy the entirety of the conversation, and we shall go from there. Where am I going to be today? I can hang over here. I can hang over there. Y'all go with me over here. I got my brother. Shout out to my big bro, Don Trey. Got my big bro Trey in the building. Good morning, King. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to connecting soon. Shout out to my big brother in the building and the whole NYPD. You heard? Shout out to my brother Trey, man. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, so let's get into this convo, and we shall see what y'all thoughts are.
About meritocracy, really, because it sounds like, based on what a lot of these folks are saying, the idea that there are not enough white people in certain roles is the problem, according to some of these folks pushing this.
Yeah.
Can we stop right there? Y'all see how it gets racialized. This is why, and this is part of the reason why, in my opinion, DEI will not work or has not worked. You could say, if somebody wants to come up with a different way of doing DEI, then I'm all open to hearing that. But as it's presently constructed, this is one of the reasons, in my opinion, why it won't work, because you just racialize everything. One side's happy, the other side's upset. One side's upset, the other side's. It's a very polarizing thing. So when she starts off by saying, well, these people are just mad, saying that, well, there just needs to be more white people in these roles, it's not exactly that. Y'all do realize that. Think about it from this standpoint. We've watched countless videos, or a few different videos, I should say, on how Black people, let's say Black people are impacted when it comes to DEI. We saw the video where it was describing us as number 7 on the list of the people that it actually helps. It was like number 1, I forget but it was like 1 was white women, then it was gay white men, then it was LGBT trans or whatever. Then it was it Asians or something like that? It was a bunch of these different groups that came well before Black people when it came to the impact of DEI. But what is the first thing that they speak about when it comes to DEI? It's always racializing, because they know that that's the thing that's going to get you emotionally attached to the conversation and engaged to keep you there. It's like you're going through TikTok. They know that that's the shock that's going to get you to stop and look at the video and pay attention. And that's going to be their calling card to then push whatever they want to push in their agenda. So here they are talking about, they're basically saying with DEI, people that complain about it, is that there's not enough white people being hired. No. First and foremost, when you look at the pool, and this has been a conversation that actually has been occurring, where there were actually people complaining on the Democratic side, saying that when you get rid of DEI, you're closing the pool of candidates that you can hire from, when you're doing the exact opposite. So the reason why I'm upset that she racialized this, think about it from this standpoint. If they just have a position that they want a woman to fill, is that saying that they want more white people? If you just have women, then that means you're eliminating the possibility of hiring any of these men. So it's not just a white Black thing. That's, to me, is what it seems to and appears to be on the surface. Like, that's the surface level conversation, just to get people pissed off or whatever. But when it actually comes down to what DEI is, it's not doing that. You're opening up the pool. You're opening up, hey, we no longer have to hire this gay white man. We can open up the pool for straight Black men. We can open up the pool for Black women. So it's not about just saying that, we need to hire more white people. It's saying that we should not have restrictions on who we vote for. And this is actually an epiphany that I had over the weekend. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this. This is the epiphany that I had over the weekend. I gotta hold on. I gotta big time her real quick. Think about this. I found out what DEI is all about, and I made a video about it. And I just realized that this is the case. DEI has absolutely nothing to do with race. It has absolutely nothing to do with race. It has absolutely nothing to do with feminism. It has nothing to do with all these things. What DEI is a power struggle between the people that own and the people that purchase. Or let me not say the people that own. It's almost, y'all ever heard the saying guns and butter? But it's a little bit different. It's a power struggle between the people that own and live and operate in the C-suite with the people that are the workers. It's a union battle. That's what DEI is all about, in my opinion. DEI is not about, we need to hire more Black women. We need to hire more Black men. We need to hire more white women. We need to hire more LGBTQ. It's not about that. It's about a power struggle that you're going to tell somebody who owns a company You're going to tell them, somebody that if you've never owned a company, if you've never hired people, if you've never managed people, if you've never put your money up to own a company and manage that company, then you may not understand how hard the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into that. You're going to tell that person that they have to hire somebody else. It doesn't matter. This is the epiphany that I had. If there's a white business owner, if you tell that owner that's getting ready to hire somebody in that position, or getting ready to tell a hiring manager, whoever it is, you have to hire this white person. You go tell the owner of this company, you have to hire this amount of white people. In my opinion, the owner of that company is saying, I'm hiring whoever I want to hire. If they're already hiring more white people, cool, whatever. But it's you're not going to force me to hire anybody that I disagree with hiring or that I don't feel like hiring. That's how I see the power struggle. So a lot of times it's like I said, it's the things that fanaticize us, that they're going to use and dangle in front of us to capture our attention. But in all actuality, it has nothing to do with the feminist movement. It has nothing to do with the LGBTQ movement. It has nothing to do with hiring Black people and creating a more diverse. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. The actual struggle is between people that own the company and live in that C-suite, and the people that either think they will never get there as the workers at the bottom, or the people that are trying to get there and they want to leverage the people at the bottom to put together certain policies and appeal to them, so that way they can use their struggle, because the people at the bottom are sitting there thinking, oh, I'll never get to the top, but I need something to make me feel better about never getting up there. I need to feel a little bit more empowered about that me at the bottom, I have a say so in who the people at the top are going to hire. So the people, like I said, that are at the bottom, workers, they either look at it from a standpoint of saying, oh, I'll never get there, so therefore I want to feel empowered. And the people that want to get to that position, they're going to ride that energy of the people that know or believe that they will never get there, put together as much extreme policies as possible that can fast track them up to the top. That's how I see it playing out. Just being honest. I do not think it has nothing to do with, oh, well, we want to hire this. Studies show that if you have this percentage of gay people, if you have this percentage of Black people, if you have this percentage of women, hire whoever you want. It's your company. When you start telling people, and this is on the private side, so even recalling what Al Sharpton said when he was making his Costco buyout, or what was it called? Not the boycott, the boycott. When he said, yeah, we want diversity on the board and owners in the private private businesses. If you are a private business, hire whoever it is that you want to hire. If somebody else feels that they should hire other people, let them start their own company and they can hire as many of those different people if they want to. Let's keep going with the conversation. But once again, I just don't think that it has anything to do with feminism or this. This comes down to ego. Can you imagine the type of person that has worked their ass off to own a company? You're telling them who they can hire. That's what I think it comes down to. But we're only 16 seconds in, and I already went on a tangent. So let's try to get through a little bit more of this video. Back to Abby. My apologies, Abby. I didn't leave you in the most favorable light. But let's keep going.
Look, this is a completely bad faith effort on the part of the Trump administration and Trump's allies. And you know they don't care about qualifications, because you can just look at.
And do me a favor real quick. Make sure that you like, so that way we can get as many different people here. It's going to help boost the algorithm.
The qualifications of the white people who Donald Trump has nominated to lead departments and agencies. I mean, these are among the least qualified people that the Senate has ever considered. When you look at a guy like Pete Hegseth, who ran 2 nonprofits into the ground and had to be fired from those roles, who has, confessed to alcohol abuse and certainly has never done anything close to running the Department of Defense in a department of its size. When you look at Tulsi Gabbard.
This is where they're wrong, and I wanted to let the brother finish, but I got to interject. Donald Trump won a free and fair election. Therefore, he gets to bring on whoever it is he wants to bring on. They're trying to connect Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. to a company and their hiring ways. Donald Trump is the person that is qualified. And to their own, it's like this is what I mean when I say black people always hustle backwards. It's like you don't even realize that you have a guy like Trump. He's the reason why he's popular, the reason why people wanted to vote for him is because he's going to bring non-political power. He's going to drain that swamp that he promised us the first time that he didn't do. Get a lot of these professional politicians that have this more conservative across the board way of thinking. When you have a Donald Trump come in who's actually doing stuff that makes sense because he's not a politician, he's not a career politician, he's a business person. Business people can't afford the luxuries and the amount of time that it takes politicians to BS their way into getting things done. Business people, time is money. It's a different perspective on things. These people don't even realize they're talking about, well, Pete Hegseth's not qualified. These people aren't qualified. Nobody is telling Donald Trump, you have to hire somebody that looks like Pete Hegseth, who's around his age range. He's hiring whoever he wants to hire. He was given this power. The people voted for him in this position largely because of people like y'all get caught up in all this emotional fear mongering that y'all do when it comes to the race baiting and everything else that y'all bait people with. This is why he's in office in the first place. He's bringing people on that the people want him to bring on. One of the criticisms from Donald Trump's first presidency is that he got on claiming that he was going to drain the swamp, and in all actuality he didn't. He hired a lot of the same people that he said that he would not hire. So this time that he's in office, what is he doing? He's hiring the people that make sense based on what makes sense to him, not what makes sense to the Democrats and the Republican as political parties, and continuing their agendas that they've been pushing that have landed us in the position that we're in right now. Anybody who looks at a RFK Jr., it's like we just don't get it. Like the fact that we are allowing these people, RFK Jr. has a history of standing up against Big Pharma, the Food and Drug Administration, ensuring that we have clean water in New York City, standing up against pollution from everything that he's done has qualified him, in my opinion, to not be with the go along, get along like everybody else that tends to be put in these positions, that doesn't want to rock the boat, that doesn't have the courage and backbone to stand up against a Big Pharma, to stand up against the Food and Drug Administration. We are living in a country that is very unhealthy. RFK Jr. has a history of standing up against these type of people, calling them out, making them show the results of their studies. And here where we want to stand on the fact, RFK Jr. is not qualified. Let me ask y'all this, and this is something that a lot of people have brought up, but don't seem to have this other part that I'm going to ask. If RFK Jr. is not qualified to be HHS, who do you think should be? Who do you think is? Matter of fact, I don't even know who was the last. Let's actually look up. Who was the last head of HHS? Who was the last person? Can somebody look that up for me? Who even knows who the last head of? Hold on. Dorothy A. Fink. Hold on. Is this the lady? Hold on. Dorothy A. Fink. Is that that's the hold on. Before I say exactly who it is, I want to make sure that oh no, so that's a different lady than I initially thought it was. All right. So I'm not familiar, but let me hold on. Let me hear some of these comments. Hold on one second. All right, so Honest wrote, this is another attempt to create a narrative that people are weak and cannot get a job on their own, manipulates businesses, causing internal barriers, and forces well-qualified people to feel weak. I agree 100%. I agree. DEI is everywhere except Trump's White House, which is merit-based in its hirings. I'm with that on competitive. How about create your own infrastructure? Kings, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody, all these folk, it's like on one end, Black people want to act like we're the superior beings. We're this and we're that. But our only response is to beg white people to hire more of us, to complain that, without DEI, people won't see the value in what we bring to the table. Create your own infrastructure. Build your own. If somebody doesn't see the value in what you're doing, show them that they have the value by using that as a rallying cry, to unite the other people that are around you that clearly, let's say that they don't feel that you're qualified because the color of your skin. All right, so then why don't all the people that have the same color of your skin grow a backbone and decide to unite and decide to compete against them? Because competition is the only way that you show that you have a significant value, or even a greater value than the people that you're complaining about, saying that they don't see your value. Go compete against them. We're the superior beings, right? Y'all heard Cat Williams on Theo Von saying that I wouldn't choose to be born any other color because as a black person, I'm born the superior being. If that's the case, then put up. Shut up and put up. Invest in your own. Aren't these the same things that Malcolm X was talking about? Oh, but it's just different, I guess, when other cultures are doing the same thing that Malcolm X is telling us to do. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Ebony, shout out to Ebony in the building. First time coming across this channel. I love to hear folks making sense. That's what we do here. That's the goal, Ebony. So if I'm ever not making sense, y'all feel free, call me out. Call me out on it. Pink Boy Queen. Didn't black men build this country and pyramids in Egypt? Take it back. Didn't the RIB start creation? Didn't black men build this country? I guess it depends on your definition to build the country. I don't know. If you force contractors to build something for you while enslaving them, I don't know. I don't even want to get into too much of that. But let's say, okay, let's assume that black men did build the country and did build pyramids in Egypt. I don't know if I'm not pushing for, just to be very clear, for us to take back America. I don't know what that's going to look like. To me, that may be idealistic for you. I'm just being totally honest, but what are the steps to that? Explain to me the steps to that. And even if you are talking about take the country back, compete. Compete. I don't think that you're talking about black men arm up and let's march down to whoever and just start taking over the country from a violent standpoint. Compete. Black people can take over the country. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Compete. A lot of people, we look around. Matter of fact, that's a great question that you brought up. White people aren't even in control of the country. When you look at the amount of, when we broke down and looked at the graph of the average household income, there's already other groups. These Asians, let's just be clear, Asians are coming in and taking over. I'm just talking about as far as competing. They make more money. Their households make the most amount of money. If that continues, that trajectory, what do we think is going to happen? That's the way to take over. If you want to take over by competing, let's compete in the market. What industry do we want to take over? Let's start from industries. Let's start in this industry. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Compete. Just compete. Just stop. The only thing that I'm not cool with is the complaining and begging and begging white people, please hire me. Please hire me. That's corny to me. That's corny to me. Ebony wrote, and the man is 70 years old, looks amazing. He clearly understands the importance and value of taking care of himself. That is a fact. I think you're talking about, you talking about Tom Sowell? I may have missed that. He is a walking testament that he knows what he's talking about in terms of caring for self over time. Queens wrote, you're gonna laugh when you find out, Dak. Hold on, what did I? Norris Cochran. Oh wait, hold on. Now I gotta really look to see who that is, because Queens is telling me who was the last head of HHS. Ernest Tisdale wrote, Trump full of it. Ernest, come on, baby. We dive into the conversation. We're not just surface level with the emotional attacks. Tell us exactly where Trump is full of it. Trump may be full of it, but just tell us exactly what it is. See, what you just did is exactly what the Democrats do. They just say Trump is racist. Trump is full of it. Tell us exactly how, because the people don't believe you by simply just throwing that out there. You may be right, but break it down for us. Black men could never take it back because the ones who are wealthy contribute nothing in mass to their own people. That's not a white person problem. I agree with you. That's not a white person problem. That is literally what you just broke down. Let me, I gotta ask, where'd the name Pink Boy Queen? come from? I'm just wondering. I agree with everything that you're saying. I'm just wondering when I'm reading the name where that came from. But black men could never take it back because the ones who are wealthy contribute nothing in mass to their own people. Oh, RFK Jr. is 70. Yes, Ebony. Yes, Ebony. Yes. Sorry. Sometimes I lose it a little bit. I'm talking too much. That means I'm talking too much. Yes, RFK Jr. looks like health. Look at him. I don't understand why people are so upset. Like, this is one for all the Democrats out there. RFK Jr., pick a fight against somebody else. Maybe talk about Elon. Just do the whole he's too rich to care about it. I don't know. Do that type of thing. Because when it comes to RFK Jr., his entire history is standing up for the so-called little guy. That's his history, whether it's indigenous Americans with the Ramapola Nape, whether it's black people in New York City, when they're not getting the water that the affluent communities in New York City are getting. This is RFK's history. What do we have an issue with him about? I heard Farrakhan. I was listening to Farrakhan, a speech that he was given. I believe it was a recent speech that Farrakhan was given. And Farrakhan was saying that Trump, the same people that are Trump's enemies, are the enemies of the people. Now, this is what Farrakhan was saying, are the enemies of black people. The same people that Trump is going after, the same people that Trump is looking to destroy and break down, and the things that have been there that Trump has targeted to destroy, those are the same people that Farrakhan was saying are destroying black people. And I think that that's what Tom Sowell is going to get into when we listen to that clip right after this. But let's keep going. And hear what else they got to say about DEI.
Who, is literally someone who many people, I think, accurately describe as a national security threat, now poised to become the director of national intelligence. When you look at a guy like RFK, who's supposed to be over public health in this country, but doesn't believe in science and pushes dangerous conspiracy theories.
And doesn't know the difference between Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah.
What he just said was just silly. That RFK Jr. doesn't believe in science. These are the people. They get these black people to jump up on here, have no idea what they're talking about. When does RFK not believe in science? This is what people, this is why, I'm gonna be totally honest with y'all. This is why Big Pharma and the doctors get away with giving y'all prescriptions that you don't need, that you're going to fall victim to now. You want to eat your fried chicken, you want to live unhealthy lives, but don't worry, we got a pill for you. Now you got to take these pills for the rest of your life. That's the difference between the as things are currently constructed when it comes to health compared to a RFK Jr. that actually just wants to make you healthier so you don't need those pills. These people don't even realize. This is what I mean when I say hustling backwards. It's not that RFK Jr. doesn't believe in the science. The problem is a lot of these studies that are put out about whether it's vaccines or anything else, they are peer-reviewed studies that are sponsored and paid for by big pharmaceutical companies. So who do you think, if you're taking a check from Big Pharma, don't you think you're going to have a favorable peer review about the product that they're putting out? It's not science that RFK Jr. has a problem with. He actually has a problem with us not showing the science in a lot of these areas with the studies, because the studies are either biased or the studies didn't happen or the studies are controlled and manipulated by the money that the people are receiving from Big Pharma. This is insane. This is like, I really feel like a lot of these Democrats, especially the super liberals and the black people that jump on a lot of these shows, it's almost like you're in a debate class and you were given the worst. It's like, okay, this side over here is gonna get all the sensible arguments, and then all of you guys over here, y'all Democrats, y'all liberals, you're gonna get the hardest things to prove. You're gonna have to tell us why tampons should be in boys' bathrooms. You're gonna have to tell us why men should be competing against women. You're gonna tell us why we should make the LGBTQ community our #1 agenda, Joe Biden, when you're running for president in 2020, even though they only make up for 1% of the population. This is what has happened with the Democratic Party. They've been given and stand on it strong. Like, stand on it strong. They stand on the most nonsensical arguments. It's almost, I don't even want to say it's something to look up to, but it's almost like Like, damn, you know what you're saying doesn't make sense, but you just don't care. You're just going to keep pushing it regardless. Like, you're just standing on what you stand on. Okay.
Yeah.
According to his confirmation hearing. Pete, I don't understand why. Well, actually, I do. I get it. It's a distraction. It's a way to get us talking about it. But I also want to just highlight for a second the human consequences of this. There were 3 people aboard that Black Hawk. We don't know what happened on that aircraft. But the family of one of the people, this is our reporting at CNN, it says, at the request of the family, the name of the 3rd soldier will not be released at this time, according to the Army said. Though the 3rd soldier's name is not being released at the request of her family, CNN was told she was co-piloting the Black Hawk and had about 500 flight hours. So there were 3 people on the Black Hawk. One of them was a woman. That woman's family is afraid to put her name out there because they know that she will be blamed for this crash, despite there being absolutely no evidence one way or another.
I think this is very simple. Donald Trump doesn't like the appearance of not being in control, and he doesn't like the appearance or the implication that he may have been at fault. Now, you can like that or dislike that. It doesn't matter. That is the clear analysis and why he jumps to conclusions. But I would say, and brace yourself for a sweeping generational attack. I hear every baby boomer dad that I know when I hear Donald Trump say, it's just common sense, not speaking specifically to DEI, but any conclusion you would reach on something that happens. It's common sense. I already know what happened. I don't need an investigation. I don't need people to look into this. I know how it happened.
But he's the
and
president.
But that's
the
why
United
he's the
States.
president, is
But
because
hang on, he's the
he
president
connects
of
with
the
that
United
mentality.
States. He's got access.
Y'all soft white men. They get these soft white men just like they get these soft black men on these shows. And this man is clearly he's being bullied. Like, he's going to get up on this panel. They chose specifically somebody who's going to get on this panel and let them spew whatever it is that they're spewing, because, well, we're talking about race. So you know that we have the big mic, you have the little mic. And he's going to go along with it. He's going to go along with it. This is why black people become delusional in a lot of ways, because especially in the Democratic Party, a lot of the white men have just given up all power. It's like, whatever you say, it's the truth. It's the truth. Whatever you say. It's delusionalized black people in a lot of different ways, in my opinion. Let me catch up with these comments, because Pink Boy Queen has some real good comments, as well as Ebony. Pink Boy Queen wrote, I'm queer, androgynous, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm conservative and I'm not worried about rights. Men will sleep with men and women with women, DL with DL, DL will DL. Democrats also believe in birthing into poverty. I agree. And I agree and really appreciate your perspective in a lot of ways, especially when you're talking about because it would be very easy for you, and Pink Boy Queen, let me not say it would be very easy for you, but it seems as if it would be very easy for, I'm a part of the LGBTQ community, so therefore I'm just gonna embrace everything that the community, that the group is pushing, regardless of the people. And the reason why I separate the groups from people, I separate Black Lives Matter and all of the blackity black movements compared to black people. I do separate those things. I separate the LGBTQ movement from the actual people that I know are LGBTQ. Because when you talk to a lot of LGBTQ people, especially once they get out of that college bubble that they're in, they say a lot of the same things that you would think would be more aligned with conservative values. Once they get out of that college bubble that they're in, to where they've been fear-mongered by all the people that are looking to control them one way or another and radicalize them. So I appreciate that. You said Democrats also believing in birthing into poverty. Then you wrote a comment that says poor people on both sides create slaves for this system they complain about instead of changing course. That's powerful. That's powerful. It is always the people at the bottom, that the people at the top on either side, I agree with you, will convince and use as pawns to push in a particular direction and to get their hands dirty, while the people at the top don't have to. I agree with you 100%. white guy talking over a black woman will risk him getting canceled. That's a fact. That's a fact. Pink, I love anything pink. Boy means androgynous. Queen is a word I made up since I'm feminine, male born instead of queen. I am a queen god and goddess, not because of material value. You're a queen goddess. We calling you pink boy queen. You broke it down for me. I'm with it. I'm with it. And I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your perspective. And I'm looking forward to you. I would love to hear more of your perspective on a lot of these different things, actually. Ebony wrote a comment earlier that I missed that I thought was funny. Abby and that dude are smart, stupid. I agree. There's a whole lot of smart, stupid people out here. And this is what we were talking about last week when we said, like, when people who are intelligent seem to just do things that make absolutely no sense, that's when my radar goes up. I'm like, wait, what? This is not a dumb person. This is not a stupid person. But the things that they are pushing, like I said, it goes back to that debate class where it's like, okay, you're going to get all the things that don't make any sense, but defend them, debate them. That's what it seems like is happening right before our eyes. Hold on. Ebony wrote, the white liberal cultivated black voices to be that way. I'm 100% with you. And this is what Malcolm was talking about a long time ago. And I can't wait to get into this Tom Sowell video. But let's keep going with CNN and see how they can continue to educate us.
To information I don't have access, or your dad, or your dad, or whoever's dad does not have access to the information he has access to.
So here's what I know. I know a number of people who voted for Donald Trump for the first time. They were so disgusted than what they felt was happening in the Biden administration. I talked to many of them this week. Instead of talking about the economy, I was fielding questions on whether or not the Trump administration wanted to stop commemorating Black History Month, Women's History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month.
This is the directive at a lot of the agencies, but DOD today put out a memo saying no more celebration of history months.
Or Holocaust Remembrance Day, or MLK Day.
So I was fielding all of these questions. So when people said that they voted for Donald Trump because they were concerned about, the price of eggs and all of these type of things, because of Donald Trump's own doing, we're having to have this conversation about DEI. DEI, for many people, and I call them the woke right, it has become a stand-in for being black and unqualified. And what I would like for the Trump administration to do, Susie Wiles, I love her, never met her, want to meet her one day.
Why do black people feel that DEI, like whenever black people talk about DEI, it's always them complaining about how it's a black issue. And I think that, okay, that's because I guess it impacts you in the most significant way. But why are we fighting for something? This goes back to what Dr. Umar said. Why are you fighting for something so hard? You are frontlining. You're at the front line for a battle that does not even concern you. Like, you're like number 7 on the list of people that it impacts. Why aren't white women fighting as hard for DEI as you are? I guess because if they jump out there and fight for it as hard as as black people are, I guess then black people may realize and wake up, oh, it actually impacts them more than it actually impacts us. Why aren't gay white men out here fighting for DEI the way that black people are? I don't even see, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even see women as much overall. There's a good amount, but I don't see women overall as much fighting. Like, black people have acted like DEI is just a black issue. It's not helping you. It was never designed to. It was a play. We got fooled. We got bamboozled. What else needs to be? It's like, and what's so funny about it is, if you talk to anybody before Trump had any, let's say that Trump didn't bring up DEI. If you spoke to most black people would admit, like, yo, DEI doesn't impact us. It doesn't help us the way that it helps this group. White women benefit the most from it. I've heard that time after time. But then as soon as Donald Trump brings it up and he has criticisms about it, then it's like, oh, well, we could criticize it, but nah, we ain't letting Trump criticize it. I don't know.
Them to ask the team, what was our message coming out of this week? And if they say that they felt as if it was successful, then we're going to have a very long 4 years.
Can I make a provocative argument here? What if Donald Trump also won because of the people who think that black people and trans people and women
Yes.
are taking things that belong to them.
It's not about taking things that belong to them. This is the difference. So this is why it's very hard. Have y'all ever been on a team where this is what it reminds me of? When you're on a team and you've never been, let's say, in a leadership position, you've never been the captain, you've never led the team, or you've never coached a team. You don't really, it's very hard for you to appreciate what goes into being a leader, what goes into having to piss people off at times, what goes into to hold people accountable to a certain standard, all of those things that have to happen. Everybody is complaining about DEI. What I think would be a better way to show the benefits of DEI is to go out and do exactly what Pink Boy Queen said: create your own infrastructure. Create your own infrastructure. If DEI is negatively impacting the lack of DEI is going to negatively impact black people, this in this way to where we got to talk about it all the time, we got to say Trump is racist, all these different things. If it's really if it's really negatively impacting black people, use it as a rallying cry. Bond together, unite, start your own company, start your own businesses. And then once you hire that diverse group that you want to hire, because that's what you believe is going to put your company in the best position to win, go out there and win, and then say, look, this is how we won right here. Instead of just complaining and trying to force people to hire whoever it is they want to hire. This is a part of the free country that we live in, right? I get to say what I want to say. I get to hire who I want to hire. What is the difference now? Let's say that it gets to a position where there's more black people that are on the job, or there's too many gay people compared to the amount of gay people. The percentage of society is this amount of gay people, so we need to make sure that there's at least this amount of gay people on the workforce. Or the percentage of black people is this amount in society, so therefore we got to make sure that there's this amount of people on the workforce. What happens when there's too many black people? What happens when there's too many gay people? What happens when there's too many white women? Are we then going to go in and say, hold on, we got to break this up, right? We wanted some more diversity. We got to bring some more white people on. We got to get rid of these jobs. We got to bring some more straight white men. Let people hire whoever it is that they want to hire. Now, on the government side, when it comes to a lot of the government employees and stuff like that, I'm actually looking at it even with Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense, with them getting rid of the Black History Months, I believe there was something with the Holocaust. I believe there was something, a whole bunch of things. Once I honestly saw the Holocaust, I was like, this is BS. Ain't no way that they're passing this. I didn't believe it, to be totally honest, because I'm like, ain't nobody getting rid of that Holocaust survivor, a remembrance. But they threw that in there as well. It's like, as soon as I saw that, I was honestly like, oh, nah, this doesn't make any sense. But for the Department of Defense, getting rid of a lot of these programs, when you're on a team, there should just be one goal, right? This is why a lot of teams don't put last names on the back of their jerseys. A lot of teams don't put, I believe Penn State doesn't do it. I don't think Notre Dame does it. I believe there's a few different college teams. It took us, when we were in college, it took us a while to get our coach to allow us to put our names on the back of our jersey. And the reason why is because they only want us concentrating on the overall team, the overall goal. They want us paying more attention to the name that's on the front of our jersey than our personal names on the back, because we're prioritizing the team first. So when the Department of Defense says that, hey, you know, we're recognizing all these different groups, scratch it. Get all of that. You want to know why? Because the people that I want, or the people that I want, is somebody that does not fight in the military for our country. I want them just prioritizing America. Everything else is serving as a distraction. I understand the intent may have been good, but in my opinion, when you start adding all this other stuff, you got the Pride Month, you got this, you're causing more division among a group of people that we are depending on to be united in order to fight for our country and put their lives on the line. That's how I would look at it. Now, other people may look at it differently, cool, but that's, from my perspective, that's how I see it. pulling each other along. That's a nice shirt you have on, Dak. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Let me get back to it. So Quee said 45K in the building. Yo, make sure that y'all like. Appreciating all y'all right now. Pink Boy Queen, I'm already ostracized by the community, both gay and black. Wait, but when you hear a woman in the shelter planning pregnancy with a broke man living with his mama, that part, we're not gonna get into it. All right. So Breeston, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Breeston Craig, appreciate you tapping in with us. No other group is speaking up, and we need to follow suit. That is like, why do we always fight everybody else's battles? Like, yo, imagine if we took all this energy and complaining about white people hire us, white people, and fighting all these other groups' battles. Imagine if we just put that into our own communities. Imagine if we took the advice of a Donald Trump and said, hey, instead of us relying on goods from other countries, we're actually going to maybe it's taking a step back. Maybe prices will go up for a little bit, but it's going to ultimately boost our economy. Maybe it is going to be a little bit hard for us to bank at a black bank because it's not as convenient. We may have to pay a little bit more in fees. We may have to, all these things that we may not be able to have the same access on our phone that a Chase does. We may have to go into the bank to take out a certain amount of money where we could just move it around on the app on Chase. Maybe it is going to take a little bit more work, but ultimately it's going to put our country in a better place when we're able to keep these jobs, keep these companies. Instead of us buying products from another country, now we're buying products from our own people and recirculating that money in our economy. Because the number one issue when we're talking specifically about black people, look where your dollar goes. You have no power when all of your dollars leave your community, either before you even made the money or as soon as you get the money. So maybe we should follow suit of exactly what Donald Trump's doing, because that's the exact thing that Malcolm X was telling us. That's the exact thing that Marcus Garvey was telling us when they were being called black nationalists, because it was all about uniting amongst your group and creating an economy that prioritizes your group. So instead of black people jumping out the window, making all these complaints and putting our time, effort, and energy into all of these things that don't even concern us, where we're low on the totem pole, just put that into our own. But I don't understand why why that doesn't make sense to people. I can't understand it. Ebony wrote, black women need to get their tit out of everyone else's mouth and feed. Yo, shout out to Ebony in the building. Black women need to get their tit out of everyone else's mouth and feed the black community. We's free now. No more feeding masters and everyone else's babies. I am with you. I've never heard it described that way, but I will be stealing that from you. So thank you for that. Let me keep going. I know I'm a few minutes behind. The hood is not healthy. Trailer park trash living isn't healthy. To keep bringing up a soul into and onto and call it having a family, yeah, starving. Fighting for the bottom slot is wild. I believe if Trump saw that, he would invest. He's a businessman, and most of us don't understand that. Crooked business or not, we're not a healthy society from the hood up. I agree. You're just constantly repeating yourself. Peace. Yes, I'm doing exactly what the Democrats do. Appreciate you. Make sure that you like. And we appreciate the comment, even if you do head out. We become their leaders and not our own. That's a fact. See, people get upset when they hear black people speaking like this. They get upset when they hear black people holding other black people accountable instead of complaining about all that white people do, because there's a whole lot of black people in this country that would rather just complain about the things that white people do rather than to put that effort and energy into making our own selves better and actually bringing some type of success and winning. Because the black people that are winning, the black people who are successful, I don't hear these conversations being had. I don't hear them. The black person that owns the business, I don't hear them having these same type of complaints that these people are having right here. Have a trade, become a barber, become a plumber, become an attorney. I don't know what it is. Become your own. That way you can have your own business. You don't have to hire a whole bunch of people. You can have your own business. You could be an independent contractor, whatever is best for you, and use these rules in your favor. Use as things are currently constructed in your best interest to do well. You do not have to go to college and work for the man. Right? It's like everybody, we grew up talking about the man this, the man that, complaining. And our solution is to ask the man to hire us and to care more about us, that we think that that's a more practical solution rather than just building our own infrastructure, creating our own business like the man did. I thought we were superior beings. Guess not. We became their leaders and not our own. That's a fact. That's a fact. We sadly have a crabs in the bucket mentality, though. Got to get out that bucket. That's a fact. The truth is kryptonite to most people. People do not want to hear the truth because the truth usually goes a whole bunch of directions. We'll distract ourselves with all the lies because the truth is exactly who's standing in front of us when we look in the mirror. That's the person that needs to change, not all these other people that we complain about. We have to be more independent and unite. I dislike the ideal of Democrat and Republican, a big division. Why can't it be for all people? Both parties cater to big banks. I agree. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, is to have a check and balance system. And that would be a third party. That would be a third party because, in my opinion, we can't rely on people to actually just be independent and free thinkers to where we're not going to allow the Democrats or the Republicans to radicalize us so much to the point where we become just enemies of each other. I don't think that we have enough free thinkers and independent thinkers to not get caught up in that. So the only way that I see that changing is to have a third party serve as a checks and balance. And Pink Boy Queen, I'm with you. We have a third party, though. We may have multiple third parties, but when that third party is not believed in, when we have the majority of Black people voting Democrat against our own interest, then I don't think that third party will ever play as big of a role as it needs to play. Yeah, just in my opinion. We have a third party, though. MAGA's a third party. Matter of fact, we should do the same thing that Trump did. Republicans didn't like Trump. Trump came on and bullied his way into, we're a party, we're standing on principles. Instead of getting caught up in all the BS that y'all conservative Republicans over here, or y'all conservative Democrats or progressive Democrats over here getting caught up, this is what we're pushing. You may not like MAGA, you may not like anything about them, but at least you can look at the things that they were able to do, even though that they were hated by the Republicans and the Democrats. And now look, Trump's got 8 years in presidency. We can do the same thing. And by we, that we is whoever it is that's aligned with their agenda. When I say we, I'm not talking specifically about Black people. Y'all know what I mean when I say we. I mean people that align with my principles, morals, and values. That's who I rock with. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's finish out this conversation. Then we'll get into the Tom Sowell with discussing Malcolm X.
Isn't it possible that he actually
Sure was
won
a factor.
for that reason and that they don't think that this is a messaging, change of course, but this
But it
is
doesn't
this is
represent the
course.
majority of those who
But
voted
they
for
could
Donald
very
Trump.
well think
But yes.
that this is
Maybe we should bring up who's the head of CNN and all these. Matter of fact, I'll bring it up a different time, but y'all are sitting here on a white network discussing all these Black issues. Go create your own network. Go create your own network. You Black people always want to be in somebody else's house trying to set the rules. Go take care of your own house. Go build your own house. Go develop something. Sitting in somebody else's house trying to tell people how to run their house. When you wouldn't allow anybody to come in your house and run it. Let me maybe that's too much for people.
the course that they are supposed to be on.
Yes, I think this is what economic anxiety has sometimes been euphemized to refer to, that people feel like they're losing their status in society and maybe their ability to climb up the socioeconomic ladder, and the easy scapegoat is the Black and brown and people and women who are taking their place, who are robbing them of their opportunities. One thing I want to add to this discussion, besides the career effects on people of color and women and other groups, other underrepresented groups in government, among other positions, who may suffer because of the comments that Trump made about DEI causing these plane crashes, is that Trump surrounds himself with lackeys who have historically been shown that they are motivated to sort of backfill and retrofit evidence to fit whatever his predetermined conclusion is. So if we want to prevent tragedies like this from happening again, I would not trust whatever investigation they put together, because Trump has already determined that the cause of this problem is DEI. If there's something else that's lurking here that could put people at risk again, we may not find out.
You know, you would have a point, ma'am, if we didn't know that the Democrats have done far worse. We had, in order to try to push Joe Biden into the presidency, there were 50 CIA officials that signed off on Trump when he brought up Hunter Biden's laptop. They signed off saying that it aligns with a hoax, knowing damn well that they actually already had the laptop, I believe, in their evidence. 51 people signed off. Imagine if that came out, the Hunter Biden laptop story came out. That was a big story right before the election when Trump was going against Biden the first time. That was a big story. The CIA officials came out and shut it down and said it's a hoax, but it came out that it's actually real. It was just another situation where the conspiracy theorists end up being right. So these Democrats, it's just the pot calling the kettle black. And to be totally honest, when people are looking at y'all, people are more so believing Donald Trump, even if they don't like Donald Trump. People believe Donald Trump. Matter of fact, y'all believe him so much that y'all think that he's got like the crazy. Well, he said he's going to do it, so he's going to do it, right? That's the energy that I hear from Trump on some sides when it fits the argument that y'all are making. But then when it's something different, well, Trump lies. Like, have y'all ever gotten into a debate with somebody who is against Trump, and on one end they'll say, Trump said it, he's going to do it, he's going to do it. But then 5 minutes later they'll say, well, Trump just says stuff, he lies. It's like, wait, so he lies when it aligns with you trying to prove this point over here, but he always tells the truth. So we should be scared and accept your fear mongering when it comes to this point over here. Man, with all due respect, we've seen what the Democrats have done. We've seen what Hillary did when she tried to connect and make up this whole story and feed it to the FBI about Donald Trump having a Russian bank account and all this other stuff. It was all BS that we've seen done on the Democratic side. So with all due respect, how are you now calling out Trump for doing the same? Like, nah, it doesn't work that way. And you can do whatever it is that you want, but people are not going to believe it at the rate that you think people are going to believe it, just in my opinion. And maybe that showed in the election.
You know, I actually do. I've talked to a lot of aviation experts this week. I have confidence in the NTSB. That is a gold standard agency in this country and honestly in the entire world of aviation. But I mean, to her point, you know, I think there are questions about whether this is going to be a witch hunt for the evidence to support this claim. They are going to be hunting down the people who fit the DEI narrative in order to prove, oh, he was.
And y'all do realize this is what's so hilarious. So I'm going to show y'all, before I show the Tom Sowell clips, what's so funny is when all of these people were making up these stories that Trump was getting rid of Black History Month, y'all do realize that Trump did exactly what the previous presidents have done and signed Black History Month. Like his team never said that let's just look at the tape. So this came out, I think this was from 3 days ago. There's one from 5 days ago, and there's one from 2 days ago, where they're asking Carolyn Leavitt, Trump's speaker, about Black History Month, because people were insinuating and Black people running around in group chats across the country saying that Trump is getting rid of Black History Month. But I guess none of these people just focused on exactly what they said, because they made it very clear 5 days ago that wasn't the case, but then also made it even clearer 2 days ago. So take a look at this clip. You guys tell me what you think. If you thought that after watching this clip that Donald Trump is going to get rid of Black History Month, you guys tell me. Let me switch over real quick. All right, there we go.
Police have obtained a memo from the Defense Intelligence Agency that talks about not holding any activities or programming related to Black History Month. to be in line with the president's views on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Does the president plan to have a proclamation about Black History Month? In his first term, each of the 4 years of his term, he did so and called on those in government to have programming activities and celebrations. Is he going to do that this year?
Yeah, the president looks forward to signing a proclamation celebrating Black History Month. I actually spoke with our great staff secretary. It's in the works of being approved, and it's going to be ready for the president's signature to signify the beginning of that tomorrow.
If an agency is calling off those kinds of activities in an attempt to be in alignment with the president's views on DEI and other things, should they adjust that now and have those programs and make those celebrations however they see fit in the office?
The president is leading here at the White House, and I'll leave it to the proclamation that he will sign very soon.
All right, boom. Let me address some of these comments because I see the comments coming in, and y'all know we don't turn down any smoke. Hold on, I saw something here. Okay, so I'm not really sure where this is going to go, but Taylor, welcome to the show. Well, guess no more Christmas, New Year's, Columbus Day, 4th of July literally just makes me sick. I wish people did actual research. White Americans, highest percentage of prison, drugs, violent crime, children-related, incest, rape. Taylor, what does this have to do with anything that we're discussing? Like, what does that literally? This is an example of we're discussing. And Taylor, you're telling me, you're saying that you wish that people did actual research. So why don't you show me an article? Send me an article. Put it in the chat so everybody can see of an article that you've read, a study that was done that shows the impact of DEI and how it helps Black people in a significant way. Leave that study here. We will and leave it here. I'll review it. I'll go over it, and then I'll present it on Wednesday. And if you're correct, then I'll say that you're correct. But what actual research are you saying? Because everything that you're saying here, what does white Americans having the highest percentage of prison, drugs, violent crime, children-related incest rate, what does that have to do with DEI? If you're just making a point about DEI, why do you have to include all this other stuff in? I don't understand. I don't understand. And then I believe that you wrote something else. Government assistance, white American. So DEI yourself into some research. Blame non-whites, criminals, white Americans, people of color don't want sympathy, hard work and diverse skills, quick. I don't even know. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. I don't know. I don't know if we're on the same. I don't know if we're saying the same thing or if we're saying something completely different. I don't know. The indigenous is not Black. Yeah. Pink Boy Queen wrote, I live in West Virginia. They love Black people, especially Black men, more than I do, no matter who's president. You ought to stay away from sundown towns anyways. Wow. That's a hell of a perspective, Pink Boy Queen. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Because a lot of people, I'll be totally honest, even the first time that I remember driving through West Virginia, when I was driving from Virginia to Indiana, I got out the car. I can remember vividly. I got out the car to get gas, and I was trying not to even stop in West Virginia to get gas. And I got out, and there was a Black dude at the pump in front of me. And I kind of gave him the little nod, like, yeah, we good? Like, one of those, just because it's West Virginia. Why? Because that's what people think in our minds. What we fear the unknown. We fear the experiences that we've never had, and we fear the people that we've never met. And the reason why we fear them is because everybody else tells us that we should fear them. Everybody else tells us that those people are the reason why your life is terrible. That's what ends up happening. Can't believe anything and everything you read. Need verifiable and factual sources only. All right, so let's get into this conversation that is around that we have with Tom Sowell. We got to listen to this Tom Sowell. If you guys are not familiar with Tom Sowell, then you definitely should get familiar with him. He's one of the most brilliant minds that we have on the planet. There is hate everywhere. Don't get me wrong. 100% there's hate everywhere. There's hate everywhere. And to your point, Pink Boy Queen, a lot of that hate, I would say, comes more from the people that look just like you than the people that don't. I don't even think they're as concerned about us as we think that they are, just to be totally honest. You think that winners are concerned with people that are at the bottom who are losing? They're only concerned with you when they can use you in order to further their position. Think about that again. What group of people that are winning are so concerned with people that they'll just, you know what the Democrats will do? They'll just bring in another another class of people that they can leverage and use as their new victims to embrace and then vote for them. Why else you think they just opened up all the borders to allow these? Oh, it's something else. My fault. I must be different. I must be wrong. My fault. My bad. I clearly missed that one. Maybe the Democrats were just allowing the illegal migrants to come in here and incentivize it. Maybe it was just because the Democrats are just better people. They have a stronger moral compass. Yeah, those same white people that we used to complain about and say, the racist, right? Oh, but when they do something, when they're Democrats, their racism automatically just changes, right? I'm a Democrat, so I'm not racist. It's just the white Republicans that are racist. Okay, cool. I got you. Let's check out what Tom Sowell's talking about. Malcolm X on white liberals.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for a friend.
Shall I repeat that if it's okay with you guys? So when Malcolm says it, we stand on it. Here I am, raised by a generation of men that claims that they looked up to Malcolm, right? Claims that they looked up to Malcolm, claims all these. Was Malcolm wrong then, or is he just wrong now? I just want to know. And there's nothing wrong. Somebody could be right 70 years ago and be wrong now. But I just want to be clear. Was Malcolm wrong then, or is he just wrong now? Because a lot of the people that I look up to, a lot of my dad's generation, y'all looked up to Malcolm X, right? So I just want to know for my own knowledge and own understanding, was Malcolm wrong then, or is he wrong now? Because a lot of the same problems that I see that were happening then are happening now. Case in point, I tell y'all all the time, when I went to my buddy's dad's event, who was one of the people that were significantly involved in the civil rights movement as a very young person, when I went to their event, it sounded like I was in the 60s. It sounded like I was in the 60s. So if we got the same problems from the 60s and we didn't use the solutions that Malcolm X recommended in the 60s, then was Malcolm wrong then, or is he wrong now as far as how it applies to us? Because that same nationalist movement, I told y'all, where it's do for self and stop relying on everybody else. You have enough of a community to circulate your dollars within the community, to grow an economy within your community, to grow a bank within your family and within your community. We have the access, knowledge, tools, skills, talent to do that right now. But instead, we decide to just complain and to align ourselves with who Malcolm describes as the foxes, the white liberals that come to us with a smile and act like they want to empower us and act like they want to do something for us. But in all actuality, when you look at the large impact that they've had, it's been detrimental to the Black community. When you look at Joe Biden and what he did with his crime bill, please give me something else that Trump has done that has impacted the lives of more Black men than Joe Biden's crime bill. I'll wait. Should we talk about Lyndon B. Johnson and the social programs that he put into place that crippled the Black community and have crippled us for almost 80 years, 70 years? I don't know. I'm not really doing the math off the top of my head. Should we talk about those things? But no, we're going to focus on Donald Trump, right? Because he said in Charlottesville that there was very fine people on both. Oh, wait, he didn't really say that. They just reported it to us that he said that. But they didn't play the next sentence or the two sentences after that said, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white supremacist groups. They should be condemned at all costs. Who? We have been finessed by foxes. We have been finessed by foxes, and we are so in love with, we've become so in love with people with emotions rather than logic, that we will buy into the emotional baiting, whether it's fear mongering from the Democrats or whether it's the Democrats patting us on the back, giving us participation trophies, telling us that don't worry, it's okay. We know that you're a victim, but of course you're a victim because those evil people over there, they hold you back. But don't worry, we're going to fight for you. You just have to rely on us to do so.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see.
Hold on. Did y'all peep the first sentence that he said? There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem. So Malcolm X said that in probably a time that was more fanatical. Well, I can't say it was more fanatical. I don't really know. That would actually be something good to study, but let me say more oppressive times. Is that fair to say than now? I know everybody feels like, oh, well, we're oppressed now. Donald Trump is working with Project 2025. My daughters grow up with less rights than my grandparents because we don't want abortions and all this other. Yeah, I get all that. Maybe we should switch and go back to how things were in the 60s so maybe we can appreciate the 2000s a little bit more. I don't know. But all I do know is that when I appreciate opportunities more, I usually do better with them. I usually take advantage. I usually see the positive in all of them. I'm able to see the opportunities rather than to focus on the areas that may be more challenging. I'm seeing the glass half full compared to half empty. Let's keep going.
Calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. And you take him for a friend.
Let's hear what Tom Sowell got to say about it. Let's hear what the GOAT.
Many of the prevailing misconceptions of the histories of both blacks and whites in America derive from trying to amalgamate morality and causation so as to make the moral evil of slavery a causal explanation of contemporary negative social phenomena, which have in fact had entirely different historical bases. The touchy pride of white Southerners, ready to explode into deadly violence, has often been explained as being a result of whites being used to unbridled domination over slaves. But the very same attitudes existed among their ancestors in Britain, where slavery did not exist, as those attitudes also existed in those parts of the South where slaves were virtually non-existent, and among people who were in no economic condition to buy slaves. When discussing both blacks and Southern whites, slavery has served as an all-purpose explanation of many social phenomena, ranging from broken families to poor education, lower labor force participation rates, and high rates of crime and violence.
I want to, as we're looking at these pictures, I'll be totally honest. It's just another example of black people falling in love with symbolism and being emotionally stimulated. What are you marching for? What are you like? Who made the decision to say, let's fight back by going and setting up a march or a rally, humming some or screaming some black spirituals or Negro spirituals, whatever, with no weapons against people that have gun knives, or knife guns like this that we're seeing in the video right here? Did we really think that that was a winning strategy? Or did we just get caught up and respond with the emotional energy of something that we knew would not work anyway? Maybe this is what Martin Luther King was talking about when he said, or allegedly said, that he's feared that he's led his people into a burning house. The only battle that makes sense to fight is an economic battle. That is how, like, we're fighting emotional battles in a capitalistic society. How does that make sense? How do you, like, in a capitalist society, you use emotion in order to control capital. But we haven't figured that part out yet. We just use the emotion to allow other people to control us and to control our capital. Use the emotion. Use the emotions that Jews use when they talk about the Holocaust and the world being against them or whatever they say. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it is. Maybe the world is against Jewish people, maybe because they're so successful. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. That's not what I'm arguing. But what I'm talking about is use that to be a rallying cry to unite your people and to create an infrastructure that supports your people. Instead, we use it as a rallying cry to unite our people and to support who Malcolm X was talking about are the foxes, the white liberals. Where are the results? Where are the results? And it's funny because my mom just sent our group chat an article today talking about Democrats still being delusional and lost and not understanding. And the article to me pretty much came down to the Democrats have no foundational values and foundational principles. What do the Democrats stand for? We don't know. We don't know. It depends on who they're appealing to, right? It depends on, well, if I'm at this LGBTQ rally, it may be this. If I'm at this black rally, it may be this. If I'm at this women's rally, it may be this. Or if I'm meeting with the leaders, the other white liberals, it may be this. Or the black liberals like Barack Obama, who we've convinced is one of the brothers, right? Brothers. When he decided to try to condemn us black men for not voting for Kamala and being free thinkers and independent thinkers and just going along with the get along and supporting the Democrats. Barack Obama, you had your 8 years, brother. What did you do? What is the biggest impact that you made on black people?
Often, evidence has been neither asked for nor given. Not surprisingly, many of these explanations do not stand up under
Pink Boy Queen coming through. Yeah, we definitely gonna read the super chats. I appreciate you. Appreciate that super chat from my brother Pink Boy Queen. If you tell lies, if you show your muscles, speak nonsense, rap toxic messages, your channel will grow fast. I can't unknow what I know, what I now know. Pink Boy Queen. Pink Boy Queen. Y'all know I'm always recruiting on here. We need a show. We need to link up after this. Pink Boy Queen, I need your email. I need something. I'm seeing something bigger here, Pink Boy Queen. I'm being honest. And the reason why is because I'm so appreciative of what you just wrote here. If you tell lies, if you show your muscles, speak nonsense, rap toxic messages, your channel will grow fast. I can't unknow what I now know. If I was on here, I say that all the time, especially when I'm talking to Maya. I'm like, yo, if I made a page just telling black women how amazing they are, if I made a page that was even telling black people, black women how ain't-ish they are, like as far as in a rap song and how I'm going to if I was putting out toxic messages, if I had a no jumper base, if I had a Vlad base, if I had a if I had all these different things that you hear a lot of these other networks that a lot of times we tap into it, that are talking about more toxic things rather than more a common sense approach to us elevating in areas that are actually impacting our lives, things would grow. My bad. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. It's not about me. Pink Boy Queen, I appreciate you. That's all I wanted to say. And as Queez, my brother, says, like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. So Mike Figueras wrote, I can only speak for myself and my family. The Democratic government assistance didn't cripple my family. It helped during hard times. The white supremacist system of oppression is what is crippling. So I would ask you this. If you're saying that it helped your family during hard times, you wrote an S there. During hard times. If something fixes a problem, see, and this is my point. Do we want to fix something? Do we want to become healthier? Or do we want to just take pills from Big Pharma that fix our issues at times when they go overboard? Or do we want to just become healthier and not have those problems? Everybody can point to you. You can sit here and say, and I'll give it to you the same way. Mike, let me flip it on you. A lot of people will say that they only voted for Trump because of the stimmies, the stimulus checks. So just like I don't think that people should just vote for Donald Trump based on him giving out stimulus checks and, oh, he signed his name on it, that came directly from Trump. Just how I think that that's super ignorant, I think it's the same thing when it comes to the Democrats. And well, they gave us when I needed assistance, they gave it to me. Mike, I'm looking a little bit deeper into it. Why do you keep continuing to need assistance? Why do Black people continue to need more assistance? And I know I'm going to get a comment that say, well, white people rely on welfare, not percentage based. There's a lot more white people in the country. So yes, overall, white people rely on welfare and assistance more. Just like you could say there's more white people in prison. You could say all, yeah. But when it comes to the percentage of our people, if Black people only make up a certain, let's say Black people are only 10% of the population in America, then why are we more of that population in jail? Why are we more of that population compared to the population of white people that are on a lot of these other programs? That would be my question that I ask. So do you want to continue to have somebody that continues to give you aid during times of need, or do you want to be in those times of need? That's the question that I have for you, Mike. That's the question that I have. Y'all sold out for $1,500, got nerve to diss Obama. Sad. I'm not sure that you heard the whole thing, but I get what you're saying. People that sold out, and this, y'all sold out for $1,500. Do you not realize Jovan STL Hansman? If you're saying that Black people sold out for stimulus checks for Donald Trump, are you not realizing that Black people have sold out ever since Lyndon B. Johnson introduced social programs with the welfare and everything else where they give assistance? Do you not realize that Black people have been selling out to the Democratic Party for over 70 years? Why is it so easy for you to identify Black people selling out because Donald Trump gave a stimulus check or stimulus checks? Why is it so easy for you to identify that, but it's so hard for you to identify that Black people have been selling out for the Democratic assistance that keeps you at the bottom, that does cripple you to the point where, oh, well, they helped us during hard times. Why do we have to continue having hard times? Damn. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we not seeing here? Why are we so short-sighted with all this stuff? See the big picture. Let's keep going.
Scrutiny. Census data, for example, show that labor force participation rates were higher among non-whites than among whites in 1920 and 1930. No matter what the origin of counterproductive behavior, such behavior must be changed if progress is the goal. On the other hand, if the real agenda is to score points against American society, then Blacks can be used as a means to that end. More generally, a pro-Black stance by white intellectuals enhances the latter's moral standing and self-esteem, whether or not the particular manifestation of that stance helps or harms Blacks on net balance. The chafing restrictions of civilization, which can at times become irksome to people of any color, may be vicariously thrown off by those white intellectuals who cheer on outlandish and even lawless behavior by Black hoodlums or entertainers. Blacks, in effect, become the mascots of these intellectuals, symbolizing and acting out the latter's resistance to society, or more accurately, civilization. But while mascots may be indulged, more fundamental...
Hold up, Eb. I can call you Eb. And Taylor, shout out to you. I appreciate that. Because Taylor wrote, yes, sir, I will get you the information. I apologize. My daughter always gets on the comments. I get overwhelmed with subjects. Emotions go haywire. I do like your point of view. Makes me realize how off I am. Damn, that's respect. And not respect from a standpoint that you're just agreeing with me, but respect from being open. We all need to be open, myself included. This is why I always tell you, I haven't even said it yet on the show today, but y'all know I say it every show. I may be wrong. I may be off, but I'm going to be very clear on where I stand. So that way you guys can be very clear. And if you need to check me, then check me. If I'm seeing something wrong, then I want y'all to know exactly how I'm seeing it. So therefore you could tell me if it's wrong. If I just sit here and shut up and don't say anything, then I'm never going to know if the things that I'm doing, the perspective that I have is wrong or right. So I appreciate that. Ebony. Why have the times gotten harder? I saw an older black man say the best time for blacks was the first 100 years after slavery. Then the trajectory went down. Ebony, I know this is your first time, and we are aligned because this is the conversation that we've been having for the last month. The last month, I made the statement, Ebony, that this is all like a mindset when it comes to the reason, like it's a mentality type of problem that we have. It's not a money type of problem. It's a mentality. And I said, can you imagine somebody 5 years removed from slavery, 5 years removed from slavery, wasn't able to read, wasn't able to have their own business, wasn't able to work in certain places? Can you imagine them looking at black people right now? Looking at black people right now, the people that were 5 years removed from slavery, and sitting here saying, damn, no kids in Chicago and Baltimore can read at a proper reading level? These are their math scores? Y'all are complaining about white people not hiring you, but you can actually, it's legal for you to start your own business? Y'all are on the forefront and fighting for tampons to be in boys' bathrooms, drag queens to read books to kids in schools, men to play sports against women. Like, that's what you guys have the privilege to even think about those type of things. We were just trying to make it legal to read. We were just happy to not be in chains and shackles. But y'all are oppressed? Come on now. Come on now. We cannot be living in this world. We cannot be living in this world. How can we be living in this? Don't y'all realize that, like, just from this standpoint, any opportunity, think about the times in our lives where we've truly appreciated an opportunity. Let's look at relationships. That relationship that you have where you know she ain't going nowhere, you could cheat on her as much as you want. It is what it is. You don't value that person. But let's say somebody else comes in where you're like, yo, this person, they've already left. I'd made one mistake that wasn't even, I thought, as serious as the mistakes I used to make with old girl. And now I didn't hear from her for 2-3 years. The next time you get an opportunity from that woman, you're going to appreciate it in a different way. Appreciation, in my opinion, tells a lot. It's a huge factor in whether or not you'll be successful in any opportunity, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's anything. When you truly appreciate that opportunity, you're going to be more successful. We have gotten to a point where we're so removed from slavery, even though we say it was only 500 years ago, it's less than 500, whatever we say, whatever. We are so removed from that we can't even see how much of an opportunity we have right now, how much freedom we have right now. We're still stuck fighting for freedom. At what point are we going to say, you know what, we got enough freedom to move independently and create our own? So maybe we can ease up on the freedom talk and actually put some of that time, effort, energy, and resources into actually building some infrastructure on our own. I'm just wondering, at what point do we make the transition to where we say, oh, well, instead of begging white folks for this, the same white folks that I'm accusing of being racist, instead of begging and waiting for them to change things, to make things better for us, why don't we just change it for ourselves? Isn't that what other groups in this country have done? We know Asians were mistreated in this country, right? A long time ago. Did that impact Asians from being successful in this country? Or did they use that as a rallying cry? Or did they not even say anything about it? Did they just apply pressure and just say, you know what? We're gonna build in this country. We're gonna build quietly. We don't even have to be involved in the elections and all this other stuff. We're going to make sure that we put ourselves in a position to be successful no matter who's in office, rather than get caught up in the emotional back and forth of fanaticizing and radicalizing both parties. I don't know. Let's continue. My fault. I went off on a little bit of a tangent, but let's continue. Y'all keep up the group chat going. I'm definitely tapped in with y'all.
Fundamentally, mascots exist for the sake of those who adopt them, and the actual well-being of the mascot is seldom a high priority. By cheering on counterproductive attitudes, making excuses for self-defeating behavior, and promoting the belief that racism accounts for most of blacks' problems, white intellectuals serve their own psychic, ideological, and political interests. They are the kinds of friends who can do more harm than enemies. A crucial fact about white liberals must be kept in mind. They are not simply in favor of blacks in general. Their solicitude is poured out for blacks as victims, blacks as welfare mothers, criminals, political activists against the larger society, as well as those blacks who serve as general countercultural symbols against the larger society. White liberals have nothing approaching the same interest in blacks as the principal victims of black criminals or as people advancing themselves within the existing framework of American society, including many who have risen within the military. Nor do they get particularly worked up over blacks who build up their own human capital or business capital. None of the
Wait, what? Did we hear that correctly?
white liberals must be kept in mind. They are not simply in favor of blacks in general. Their solicitude is poured out for blacks as victims, blacks as welfare mothers, criminals, political activists against the larger society, as well as those blacks who serve as general countercultural symbols against the larger society. White liberals have nothing approaching the same interest in blacks as the principal victims of black criminals or as people advancing themselves within the existing framework of American society, including many who have risen within the military. Nor do they get particularly worked up over blacks who build up their own human capital or business capital. None of the many reports of black schools that excel academically seems to arouse any great interest among white liberals. It was not the liberals in Washington, but the Reagan administration, which offered successful black educator Marva Collins an appointment as Secretary of Education.
Some of our
Whoa. Didn't know about that. Didn't know about that. Yo, do me a favor, make sure that you like. That's gonna help boost the algorithm, get as many different people engaged in these conversations. All right, so where are we about to go to next? So I saw something very interesting. And I want to see how this situation is going to play out. I'm going to read, I believe, a tweet from Truth Social, or I know it's a different platform, but something that was put up. Maybe Donald Trump didn't say this, but I want to show y'all. So this just came up on my timeline today, and it says, South Africa is confiscating land. This is apparently Donald Trump wrote this. Y'all can confirm it. I don't know if it's true or not. I just saw Elon posted it, so I don't know if it's true or not. Elon, chill out, bro. We need this Tesla to go up, but whatever. South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. It is a bad situation that the radical left media doesn't want to so much as mention. A massive human rights violation at a minimum is happening for all to see. The United States won't stand for it. We will act. Also, I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed. Now, I don't know who these people in South Africa that Trump is talking about when he says certain classes of people are being treated very badly. Maybe that's the elite white folk. Maybe the elite white folk are being treated very badly. I don't know. But as this situation plays out, I'm going to just pay attention to it, because if this is Trump standing up for anybody that's not a white American, like, whoa, that's different than the narrative that the Democrats are trying to push. So I'm just going to, don't worry, I got y'all. Don't pay attention to it. I'll pay attention to it. I'll follow the story and see what happens from there. So there's a bunch of different videos that we were going to play. Now we're going to get into a little bit of a different, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I know that we've been focused on some of the longer videos, but we're going to go through some of the shorter videos and get you guys' opinions on it. A little bit of fast firing. I'm going to try to make sure that I keep up with the chat as well. I see my brother Ant in the building. Good morning, good people. I see Mama Lay in the building. Subscribe too, so you can get the OG alerts. Yes, please subscribe and turn your notifications on as well. All right, let's get into some of these videos. We're just going to shoot a little bit here. Do I want to, my only question right now, hold on, because there's an art to some of this when I'm playing certain videos, and obviously sometimes we change. Oh yeah, hold up, let me show y'all. All right, so we got two videos to show y'all. I gotta show y'all this. I gotta show y'all these videos. All All right, and we on Twitter here. Now we're moving to the DNC. Where are these videos that we're taking? All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Is this already being shared?
Your attention.
All right, so this is what we saw. So this is the Democratic National Committee. I believe they were trying to pick their speaker. Let's get into some of these videos that we saw occurring. This was a funny one. This is a funny one.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking. Good evening.
I wish I could go back. I wish I had the time to go back and see how people were respecting or receiving the 11 people that spoke before this lady. I'm telling y'all right now, fellas, this is our fault. This is our fault. And I'm talking black men specifically, but white men, y'all as well. This is our fault. I don't even want to get into it as far as, well, let me just play the video.
And I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black.
No, it's at least 2 obese women. I'm being honest. Stop. Like, what? Stop this. Stop. Why do black women want to be strong so much? Like, who is pushing this narrative? This is why I keep saying, black men, this is our fault. What is going on right now? What is going on right now? Does anything about this?
Like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you.
No. And a lot of y'all may be saying, well, she's talking strong mentally, all this other stuff. Yo, I saw a comment earlier where it said that black people have no leaders. Black people, we really don't have we don't have a lot of them. People that we should be following. We got a whole lot of leaders. We got Meg Thee Stallion. We got Cardi B. We got Kamala Harris. We got Barack Obama. We don't have any leaders that are leading us to a place of anything outside of victimhood mentality that is ran by white liberals in the Democratic Party. Why do you have to, you got to have, I'm going to be totally honest. You got to have some type of nerve in a lot of ways to just get up there in front of all these people and say, yeah, these 3 strong black women. Ma'am, what is, like, the delusion? And I'm not making jokes. I'm being seriously, the amount of, this is the gaslighting that has been done when it comes to black women. And the reason why I'm always going to circle back to the lack of black male leadership, because this is the result of it. Amping black women up to be, oh, you're a strong black woman. Ma'am.
3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, papá. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and...
Can somebody please tell me what rights are under attack? Oh, that's right. We're going to talk about abortions. Right? Abortions where black people, black women, I think make up for, what is it, like 40-something% of abortions? And that's what we want to push for. So the fact that we're limiting the abortion. So here we have a situation. I think everybody can agree that abortions are not, if it had to be put in a category of either good or bad or positive or negative. To each their own. There's no right, wrong, right? There's no right, wrong. It's based on a whole, whatever. The fact that we've convinced people that abortions are a positive thing. Let's be clear. The reason why white people don't want abortions is because white people are not having as many kids as they need to in order to protect their legacy and protect that white people will be around for hundreds more years, thousands more years. That's why white people don't want abortions. That's why it's a very simple thing. We're not having as many babies that we need to guarantee our success for the long run, so therefore we want to stop abortions. Black people on the other side are over here fighting for something. Here, just think about it from this standpoint. The reason why white people want to get rid of abortions is so that they can have more children, because they see children as an asset. Black people on the other end, we've been convinced that children are liabilities, which is why we're okay with our women making up for such a outrageous percentage of the total abortions, even though our women don't make up for that comparable amount when it comes to just Black women in society. I know that I said a lot there. What I'm trying to say is that the percentage of Black women in society is a lot less than the percentage of Black women that are having abortions. So here, white people on their end, they're saying, well, we see the kids as being assets, and we need to make sure that we can't have y'all killing these kids because we need to make sure that we're populating the planet. Where Black people have been convinced, we should get abortions. You should. Black people, wake up. The Democrats have bamboozled you once again. If Donald Trump, who's the most racist person in the world, right? He's like Hitler. If he's saying that there's a benefit for white people having babies, then if we hate Donald Trump, then shouldn't we want to have as many babies as possible to make sure that they can't compete? But no, we once again are hustling backwards and getting caught up with pushing agendas that do not align with our best interest. We'd rather align with, you know what? We'd rather align with movements that are not going to bear any children, or movements that are okaying us to have as many abortions as we want. And then when we look at the Black society, the Black community, what have they convinced? They've convinced Black women that you need to be a CEO, you need to be a boss. So now you're putting your career, you're prioritizing your career, putting family on the back burner, when in the people that you're complaining about, the people that we're calling racist, they're prioritizing family so that way they can build legacies to be successful in the big picture. But because we get caught up in all these surface level issues, we now, we're the side, we're aligned with abortion. We're only aligned with abortion because we've been convinced that we're victims. We've been convinced that it's okay. And we're not even intelligent enough in a lot of ways to see that that is actually a fast track to us becoming more successful, us populating the planet. And a matter of fact, the only reason why a lot of us okay the fact that with abortions is because we say, oh, well, I don't want to bring this baby into this negative environment. Well, why are we still in this negative environment? It's because of all these damn social programs that the Democrats have pushed that have crippled our development, that have crippled our minds, and have landed us in a place where we continue this cycle of poverty after a cycle of poverty. Let's continue.
Brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support.
Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when the wrong people are in power. Yo, I really don't understand. Like, I really don't understand what people are so upset about Donald Trump doing. I wish people would really tell me and break it down for me. What are you upset that Donald Trump has done as he's been in office? What exactly are you upset about?
And electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters.
My people are sick and tired
of being sick and tired.
No, we are just sick and tired because we are unhealthy. We are sick and tired because we are caught up in this poverty cycle. We're sick and tired because we continue to look on the same people that we claim are racist in order to save us. Y'all are, it's like y'all so strong, such strong black people, but then y'all just get caught up in following behind this white liberal Democratic Party, pushing agenda items that don't even prioritize you and yours. Joe Biden ran his campaign, ran his election on prioritizing the LGBTQ community when he was running in 2020. And in 2019, he said that his number one priority was the LGBTQ community. The same person that destroyed more black families with his crime bill than any other policy in America outside of slavery, perhaps. He decides to prioritize the LGBTQ community. How many people did the crime bill? How many LGBTQ people did the crime bill lock up? I'm sure it was some of them. How many? Or was that something that overwhelmingly impacted black people, regardless of what your sexual preference or anything else was? Black people are sick and tired because we eat terrible foods, because we've been convinced by the Food and Drug Administration that it's okay for our supermarkets to have terrible food in them, and then we just blame the supermarkets without doing anything and without taking the onus and accountability to say, you know what, we'll just build our own supermarkets. That's why we're sick and tired, literally. Close your eyes and think about what the average black person looks like. I did this the other day when it came to Americans. I said, close your eyes and think about what the average American looks like. It's not a healthy, you don't visualize somebody healthy. This goes back to the same thing we were talking about with the pandemic. Apparently, they trying to target black people. Oh, we need to make sure that black people get this vaccine because black people, they're impoverished communities. They're more at risk of COVID and impacting their lives because they're eating terrible foods. They have terrible habits and a terrible culture that is not aligned with health. So it's okay for you to focus on it when you're trying to get people a vaccine. But after that, I haven't heard the talk around it. Matter of fact, the only talk around it has been from a guy like RFK Jr., the same person that y'all are giving issues, the same person that has actually has a history of standing up for black people when it comes to health. Make it make sense.
We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the
last one hired and the first one fired. Yo, God, like we are really so caught up in this. Oh my God. All the victimhood. It's disgusting. If you're tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired, then how about you own your own business? How sick and tired are you, man? How sick and tired are we? We're tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. She wrote that down. Somebody gave that to her. She thought about it on her own and thought that that was a great punchline. If you're sick and tired, then go build your own shit.
and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the
And I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
Work to do to organize, show up, and win. And that is why I'm asking the people who have stood with me in this ride, because you know the work that I do to protect the vote.
Yo. Yo, I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, we're going to play one more video, and then we're going to play our last video and finish off on a positive note. All right, what's going to be the last video that we play? Hold on. Let me go to the watch later real quick. One second. All right. I got to show you. This is the video that I said that I had to show y'all. So MSNBC put together a forum. They put together a forum, and I guess these are the people that are running for DNC chair. Just do I want to get into this? All right, Brian Maxwell put this video together. We're gonna show Brian Maxwell some love. Let's look at this video, and then we're gonna this will be the last video that we've shown. It's very long. We're not going to show the entire thing, but we will look a little bit at it because this was just on the topic that we've been discussing.
And I will direct this question to you, Governor.
It was crazy. It was like, so I don't know what was going on here, but
I want to ask specifically about something that came up. I want to ask, we're going to continue to go forward. I want to ask specifically about something that came up during the election. And I will direct this question to you, Governor O'Malley, and to you, Mr. Martin. We're going to continue to go forward. About 1/3 of Donald Trump's advertising, campaign advertising in October of 2004. Pardon me. Well, wait a second.
That's the DNC stage. So we got a black woman and a black man, and then Jen Psaki. I don't know what she is, white, but I don't know exactly what she is, interviewing all these people, or I guess they got a panel or whatever. It doesn't look that diverse. I don't know. The Republican committee may look, I don't know. People talking about the Republicans not looking that diverse. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Thank you. So we're going to continue on again for a small number of trans, incarcerated, and undocumented immigrants. These particular.
And Democrats are still taking money from the arsonists.
You know.
But the other, but.
Can you?
Yeah, a lot of infighting going on over there.
Let's talk about the climate emergency. Okay, hello. Let's get to the climate emergency. Let's get to the climate emergency. Jen Psaki, excuse me.
As you can see, the inmates have taken over the asylum.
So shout out to Brian Maxwell. Got to give credit. This is his content. We're going to fast forward through a little bit above it, but if you get the chance, go check out his page. This is my first time checking out. I just subscribed as well. Especially got to subscribe when you're using somebody else's content. So we're going to shout him out, and I'll put the link for his show in the description when I put this out as well. But let's keep going a little bit.
What you're looking at is a forum that they held during the elections this weekend for the DNC leadership. That's for the Democrat National Committee, for their leadership, for their chair, for their vice chair and whatnot. And I'm sure you can imagine it was so entertaining and was hilarious. It was so funny that I wanted to make sure that I shared it with you. I got some clips in here and I'm just going to let them rip. Now I'm going to watch them with you, and excuse me if you hear me laughing, because it was the most unorganized, unproductive election I've ever seen before. And check this out, for a party that screams about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and wants to label Trump a racist and Hitler and Republicans are racist. This party, who they voted for their leadership, was mind-blowing. For all of their big talk, they voted in a man named Ken Martin, okay, who ran Kamala and Tim Walz's campaign for presidency, and the young radical, the far left radical dude named David Hogg. And as you'll see his picture on the screen. Now, like I say, they are so hypocritical. They do all of that grandstanding and all of that big talk when the cameras are on, when the mainstream, or should I say the lamestream media is on. But behind the scenes and stuff like this, so they know the average person isn't going to watch this, isn't going to see this. But remember, journalism has shifted. Now people are getting their information from the internet, and individuals like myself and many other great podcasters and people that share information, they do an awesome job of digging this stuff out and bringing it to you. So without further ado,
let's
get back to it.
Thank you.
Excuse me. We're going to skip ahead. Jen Psaki's going to ask about the climate. We're going to go to climate. Let's go.
We'd like to ask some of these questions. If you could just give
give us a moment. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
There seems to be a little bit of disconnect between the people and the politicians and pundits.
you all for your, thank you all so much. We really appreciate you all being here. I just want to restate. We
Let's move on a little bit.
Someone asked.
To next, okay? So that was easy. Super chat. And if you aren't subscribed,
look, I wanted to show a little bit more of that, but honestly, it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. This is what we're gonna do. So it's already 10 o'clock. I do want to finish off with on a positive note. I know we didn't get through a lot of the videos that we were supposed to get to today. Y'all know how it goes. It just is what it is. Matter of fact, do I want to show this last video with the New Yorker? All right, well, no. All right, I don't know. All right, we'll play one more video. Sometimes I just see the video. So this was a video from New York. You guys tell me what your thoughts are. Do you share the same thoughts? Do you share the same feelings? I don't know. This is New York. This is New York.
I get a fucking life. Get life.
Yo, and I'm laughing at it because we were just over there in this area maybe about a month ago, and I made sure I took a picture in front of Trump Tower. That picture may go up. It's gonna go up today. I don't know.
Thank you, sir. Fucking
Hey, sir.
Fucking jerk off.
Sir, can I ask you a question for YouTube?
Fuck out of here.
Sir, can I ask you a question for YouTube? I'm pressed.
This country,
I'm
man.
pressed.
Look
I'm
at
pressed.
that.
I'm pressed.
Get these clowns out of here. They're a fucking clown. This guy Biden's sleeping. He shits his pants. You don't see that shit, you dope. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You guys are fucking joking. This city's turned into shit. And I bet you're gonna vote for horrible fucking Hochul. Right, Hochul. And AOC. And fucking AOC. Fuck AOC. You don't like that shit, right? AOC. Fuck out of here, man. These people are clowns. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Fucking left wing. Thank you. Jerk off. And a vote for Hochul is a vote for horrible. Look at you, say nothing. Nothing. I didn't think so.
My name's Adam Francisco on YouTube.
Fucking horrible. You can put it anywhere you want, big guy. These people are jokers. They
you.
don't know what's going on. They're ruining this city. Left-wing jerk-offs. Indict Jim Jordan. Are you serious? Yeah, you're great. Indict Chuck Schumer. Exactly. Look what kind of Jew was Chuck Schumer. He gets abused from the squad and says nothing. What a joke he is. You people are fucking hypocrites. You know what? I'm gonna take a shit later and wipe my ass and think of you people. Because you're ruining this fucking city. Yeah, you're laughing, jerk off. Shit a better president. You're fucking laughing, you fucking clown, you woke idiot. You're a woke idiot. You're a woke idiot. You're all woke idiots. You know, I got a job. I got money. You're laughing, jerk off. You're standing in front of a building, you a hypocrite. You're a fucking jerk off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 jerk off.
All right. I'm laughing for certain reasons, but other reasons I'm not. This is embarrassing. This has become embarrassing. And I think this is just another example of how one side being radicalized only is going to radicalize another side. This is the reason why we need that checks and balance of a common sense party that can bring some just common awareness and sense to the table. I don't want to see what I just saw. I don't think that that's going to lead to anything positive. I think that now I agree. If you ask me which side I'm on, I agree with what the guy's saying. But it just should never get to this point. And this goes back to, I think, I'm not sure if Ebony said it or Pink Boy Queen. I'm not sure who said it, but it was that people will always use people in like the poor people on both sides will be used to push the people in power's agendas. And I'm not saying that the gentleman's poor. I'm not saying that she's poor, but I'm saying that the people who are not in power, us common folk, they are going to use us and distract us to hate each other. They're looking for reasons that they can get us to hate each other. So therefore they can be the powers that be that we rely on and keep them in their comfy positions that they're in. That's what ends up happening. I want to see, and it's almost to the point where when you see Barack Obama sitting down and laughing and kikiing with Donald Trump after they just said the most horrible things about each other. Barack Obama can act like Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. They can push an agenda where he's like Hitler, but then when they sit down, it's all love. When Donald Trump sits down with Joe Biden, he's happier than it looks like when he's sitting down with Kamala Harris. Just being honest. But how do we get to a point where we are the common folk and we're hating each other more than the actual people who are stoking the fire? That's what I dislike about it all. So I could sit here and laugh at and say, yeah, they're jerk offs, they're all that stuff. And I agree with a lot of the things that the guy was saying. This is not only ruining New York City, it's happening across the country. They are putting things in play to get us to hate each other, to get us scared, to get us to think that we're going back to being enslaved, all these different things. And both sides get caught up. And it's almost like that old saying where a wise man said, don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who's who. We can sit there and root for the guy, or you could sit there and root for the other people that are standing there with the flags and whatever signs that they said. We could root for both, but in all actuality, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We are doing ourselves a disservice. We are allowing, that's why it goes back to when I said DEI is not about black versus white. It's all of this stuff that we get caught up in. And it's the people with the hat. It's guns and butter. Like, this is back to Baby Boy. It's the people that have a lot of power, and it's everybody else. The people that have a lot of power are fighting between each other, and they both rally up people that don't have power in order to do their bidding. It's like an army. Like, yo, let me just send my soldier. You send your best soldier, I send my best soldier. Let them fight. Why don't we fight? You know what I mean? Like, why don't the people at the top? They never want to get their hands dirty. They just want to put everybody else in play. They want to control people, manipulate people, get us to become as radicalized as possible, hating each other. So therefore, we'll do their bidding for them. And meanwhile, because we're actually the ones fighting, we think that what we're doing is actually purposeful and meaningful, when in all actuality, it's not when it comes to us. It's only when it comes to the people in power. So that's kind of how I would look at that situation across the board. All right, last video of the day is on manifesting. Cool video that I saw on manifesting. Y'all know what we do at the end of every show. We take 45 seconds. So for all the newcomers, this is your first time. At the end of every show, we take 45 seconds to just clear our minds. So this video that we're getting ready to play is going to be directly aligned with that. So take a look at this, then we'll do our 45 seconds. This is the most important part of the show. So don't leave now. Stay, like, subscribe. Take a look at this, and maybe this can help solve a lot of the problems and challenges that we're going through. You guys tell me.
That there's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. So let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment. And that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, a car cuts me off, and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office, and I'm telling all my colleagues, you know, here's what happened. You know, this knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket, and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items, and I'm getting in line, and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day, and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating. So where my thoughts are, that's what's creating my reality.
When you think about what we just heard, and then think about the video that we showed before, when we think about a lot of the things that we've been discussing on this show, I think a lot of it makes sense. as to why we're still in the position that we are in right now. Every week on Sundays and Mondays, what do we set out to do? We set out to make this our greatest week ever. So in order to do so, based on that video, we need to make sure that we are vibrating at a higher frequency. Now, what he just said, that may be new to some people, may be old to some folk. It looks like some people have experienced it. I see Ebony wrote, "This is so real." Just Joy wrote, "Yes." These are the things. These are the things that, in my opinion, we should be focused on. What is Queez? What is the, so for the people that have been watching the show for a very long time, my brother Queez used to always say, "Be the change." Any change that we want to see in the world, all we have to do is become it ourselves, and then that will influence the people that we impact in our day-to-day lives, and maybe some of the ones that we don't even know that are looking at us. We have to vibrate on a higher frequency in order to get, how can I put it, more positive results, better results. We have to be on a better frequency. We have to turn to a better channel, a better radio. And if we want a better sound, then we have to make sure that we're tuning into a better frequency. So we look at this a lot of times as just, oh, this is just mambo jumbo. This isn't real. The things that we manifest, we've all been around negative people where things just happen to be, it's like negative things always happen to that person because they're in that negative frequency. And then in a lot of ways, we see other people where they just happen to get lucky all the time. Maybe they're just moving at a higher frequency. Maybe that's the energy that they're putting out. So should we be surprised that that's the energy that's getting put back into them, or that's coming back to them? And that energy comes in different forms. It may come in the form of opportunities. It may come in the form of whatever else. Opportunities are what we're looking for, and taking advantage of those opportunities is the only way that we're going to move to a better position. And to take advantage of those opportunities, in my opinion, we have to, or we do ourselves a service by putting ourselves in a position where we are appreciative of the opportunity, where we believe in ourselves, where we don't have to rely on other outside factors and think about those things as that's what's tearing us down. That's what's keeping us at the bottom. So this is just my thought process. So like I said, every week on Sundays and Mondays, I'm laughing at it. Every week on Sundays and Mondays, we set out to make this our greatest week ever. So as we do our 45 seconds, where we just take 45 seconds to manifest, clear your mind, focus on whatever it is you need to focus on, do your breath work, meditate, whatever it is that you need to do to, by the end of this show, put yourself in the best positive mindset to make this our greatest week ever. All right. So it starts here, and then it becomes our reality as far as the energy that we put out. So the next 45 seconds, if you're in a safe place, close your eyes, just take the time to give yourself whatever it is that you need. Every breath in is a positive breath where we're breathing in all the positive energy that's going to lead to positive results. And every breath out, let's envision, let's feel that we're getting rid of all the things that are holding us back from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish, and for seeing all of these amazing opportunities that we have as those amazing opportunities. All right, let's go. 45 seconds starting now. Once again, if you're in a safe place, close your eyes. All right, we got one more deep breath. Inhaling positive, exhaling negative. Mama Lay said, yes, raise our frequency. For all those that know, y'all know. For the people that don't know, what we come here for is to elevate. All right, elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, as well as raising our standards to become the leaders that our community needs, the leader that our family, our village, our tribe needs, and in order to become the person that we need to become and grow into to accomplish the amazing things that we are all looking to accomplish. All right. The more we grow, the more we develop, the more we're going to feel confident to challenge ourselves to have even bigger goals. So that's the goal of all this stuff. All right. For us to maximize our potential as we strive for purposeful abundance. Y'all know what it is. Strength and honor onward and upward. Let's get to that bag. All right. Monday's the day where we determine, or Sunday for some of us, you determine what's in your bag. The things that we say are getting to the bag, those are the things that are directly aligned with us accomplishing our goals. So we can pay attention to the little steps that we all know in our minds are actually the big steps, but the little steps along the journey that are going to make sure that we're heading in the right direction as we strive for that purposeful abundance. So what's in your bag, you got to decide for you. But the things that I pay attention to in my bag: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And with that, oh wait, hold on. Ebony wrote, before you leave, what's your name and where you out of? Hold on, my fault. Hold on. Yo, so all right. So the easiest way to find us is well, my name's David Caldwell. Everybody just calls me Dak. Those are my Dak is my David Dak Caldwell, Dak David Caldwell, whatever y'all want to say. But if you guys are on Instagram, and I promise, I say it every week, I'm gonna do better. I need to hire somebody to just make sure that we're paying attention to the group chat on Instagram. But follow us on our Instagram, the OG Network. My personal Instagram is OHGI. So OHGI. And for those that aren't familiar, what OG means, OG stands for Out Here Getting It. It's an acronym that just is for overachievers and people that just believe in themselves. All right. We set goals, then we accomplish those things, check them off the list, and move on to the next. All right. So that's the things that we're aligned with. We've been pushing this OG brand, this OG lifestyle, this OG culture, this OG religion, whatever you want to call it. It's just about us being confident, putting things in our own hands, taking accountability and responsibility to achieve our goals that we're looking to achieve. So that's what OG stands for. So at the OG Network, my Instagram is at OHGI_I am. If you type in OG, you'll see a whole bunch of other OGs out there. We're all just striving to, like I said, pursue that purposeful abundance and maximize our potential in various areas of life. So make sure that y'all like, finish us off with a like. And yeah, I appreciate y'all subscribing. Please, Pink Boy, Queen, and Ebony. Matter of fact, all right, so real quick, Pink Boy, Queen, and Ebony, we're also putting together right now more of a Zoom type of show where y'all don't just have to hear from me. Like, I want to be able to sit back. Matter of fact, on the Zoom, y'all gonna see I'm gonna be sitting back. I'm just gonna be stoking the fire, asking questions and whatnot, hearing everybody else's perspective. But we're putting together a larger Zoom where people could just come to a safe place. We're not here to argue. We're not here to debate as you see on TV. It's really just exchanging ideas, people telling exactly how they see things from their perspective and why, and us just hearing different perspectives with the overall goal to just grow as a community and to just become more inspired. Just become more inspired overall. So follow us at the OG Network. Follow me at OHGI_I am. Because I am is the most powerful 2 words that we can say, and whatever comes after, that's the superpower that we have to become whatever it is that we are able to voice and be able to manifest that. So I'm already talking. I'm going off on a tangent. Y'all know what it is. I'll see y'all soon. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. And I really look forward to y'all tapping in with us on Instagram and us growing from here. What did Dory write? Happy slaves. That's what you are. I am a very happy slave, Dory Washington. And with that last name that you have, I'm sure that you are a slave as well. So you enjoy that as well. Maybe you should change your last name to X and then find out, because really you're wearing your slave last name as well. So let's hug all of us happy slaves. And with that, I shall see y'all soon. Pink Boy Queen, you get my email. Oh, wait, no, I didn't get your email address. Pink Boy Queen, if you could leave your email, I'll actually hit you up. Did you already write it? And I'll leave our email as well. Big Fish Podcast TV @gmail.com. She coming on here talking ish with a slave last name. Knock it off. Big Fish Podcast TV @gmail.com. Okay, I see you. Wait, I didn't see. And she gonna wait to the end of the show when I'm trying to finish off. Like, knock it, like, what you doing, Dory? Knock it off. All right, hopefully y'all got the email. Yo, let me go before I get in trouble. Yo, appreciate the super chats. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate y'all all. Dory, let's do better. Let's do better than coming on your brother's page and really just deciding to leave a nasty remark. That's nasty. Like Trump would say, that's nasty. You're nasty. All right, I'll see y'all.